Welcome to Bible in Plain View, where we teach the Bible by title and lesson. And today's lesson is Old Testament Christian versus New Testament scholar. And today your teacher is going to be Brother Chris. I'm your reader, Brother Glenn. Without further ado, go ahead, my brother.
Thank you for that introduction. And you know, this is a big topic among people, most people these days, because again, we're dealing with the Old Testament scholars. Some people just want to stick to the Old Testament and not accept Christ. Even whole religions, you know, the people who profess to be, you know, Orthodox Jews today, they don't even accept Jesus. And they ain't, you know, they dealing with the a small portion of it, either the Torah, the first 5 books. But then you got people, the majority of people who profess to be Christian, who, you know, think that when Jesus came, he did away with a lot of the laws, and we don't have to do those customs they did back then. That was for the Jews. Now we Christian. Hey, but what we're going to find out is y'all both lacking in the full understanding. You know, the same way if you went in a movie halfway through, you ain't going to know who's who. You ain't going to know what's going on, why they doing what they doing. You know, would you want to pay full price for half a movie? Not with these current prices, I'm sure. I ain't been in a movie in so long because it's high. It's high if you see the whole thing. You ain't going to pay to see half. So why would you do that with your salvation? If this the most important thing that there is in life, because, you know, this is all about eternal judgment. They tell you that in the New Testament. Then we got to make sure we get this right. And we're going to find out we're going to really need the old and the new. In fact, I have meant to add this. I think it's in here. We're going to start out with how to actually read the Bible from Isaiah chapter 28. We're going to start there, and then we're going to follow that protocol throughout the lesson, because it's going to ask the question here that we need to understand, which is how do we know that we know the Bible? How we know that we understand God's doctrine? All right, Isaiah chapter 28, and pick it up at verse 9 when you're ready, bro.
Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
So this is the question, and this is the topic we dealing with. We want to make sure we understand this, not just the old, not just the new, because, you know, look this up on your own. We don't have time to teach everything in this short segment, but look up what a testament is. So we're not just using words we don't understand. Because a testament is a will. It's also known as a last will and testament. Mm-hmm. It's a law word. It's a legal word, a document that explains what you want done with your possessions after you die. Mm-hmm. So you had promises made in the Old Testament and promises made in the New Testament about an inheritance. You know, you had death in the Old Testament. They killed some animals back then. Mm-hmm. You have death in the New Testament because it lets you know a testament is of force after men are dead. But we're going to get right into it. So he said, read that last part again.
Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
Yes, sir.
Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
Oh, okay. So we got to have a humble mindset like a child. A child of God. Can't think you know it all. Got to be willing to learn, because you can get this truth at any age, but you might think you already have it. You know, as I did, and many of us did. You know, even people been in church their whole life and ain't really heard any sound doctrine, because the world, Satan has deceived the whole world. It's saying in the Bible, Revelation 12. So go ahead. Where are you at? I'm sorry.
Verse 10. For precept must be upon precept.
So this is how we got know that we got it. Precept, which is a general rule or a law, upon precept. Go ahead.
Precept upon precept.
Now, why is it repeating itself like that? You think it's for no reason? Nah, he letting you know you're going to have to do some reading. So, hey, people, even if you're dealing with somebody, they're going to have enough patience to understand. This is not a microwave understanding. You have to pre-cook this thing and let it slow cook. Let it marinate. Make sure you're getting it. Go ahead.
Line upon line. Line upon line.
Oh, he repeating himself again. So we're going to have to do some reading to make sure that it's lining up. because the Bible is going to end up interpreting itself. When you read it this way, what does it say next?
Here a little and there a little.
Oh, so that's the key. Precept upon precept, precept upon precept. So we dealing with the laws because that's the precepts. But then he say line upon line, line upon line. And look, here a little and there a little. And we're going to spread that out between both the Old and the New Testament. Let's find out why. While we're here in Isaiah, let's go back to chapter 8.
Anybody could read a legal document, right?
Right. Yeah, they got lawyers for that.
Exactly.
Most people just hit okay. They check the box. Like, I don't even know what that means. Okay, I guess there's nothing crazy in there. You know. Isaiah chapter 8. But, hey, this legal document was meant to be understood by everybody. I want you to understand this ain't an intelligence test with God. You know, that's why he sent people like Paul. You know, Paul was kind of distinguished in that he spoke many languages, but he said, hey, I would rather speak 5 words to you in a language you understand than 10,000 words in some unknown language. And he said, for the Lord ain't sent me, you know, preaching with wisdom of words. See, he was warning them to not be corrupted because Christ is simplicity in Christ. We should be able to understand this. So we're going over here, Isaiah chapter 8, and we're going to pick it up at, I'll call it out when I find it because I know these notes are a mess. Okay.
Isaiah 8.
Yeah, I thought I wrote it in there. Let's start it at verse 12.
12?
Verse 11.
Verse 11. For the Lord spake thus to me with a strong hand, and instructed me that I should not walk in the way of this people, saying, say he not a confederacy to all them to whom this people say a confederacy.
Okay, so the children of Israel here, they, you know, worrying, they fearful about these other nations being confederate against them, and the Lord is warning Isaiah not to think like them or speak like them, because really they wouldn't have to worry about the nations if they would have kept this first thing in mind. So he says, say ye not a confederacy, neither fear ye their fear, nor be afraid. What are you supposed to do?
Sanctify the Lord of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread.
Oh, he says, so this is who you got to worry about. Set the Lord apart. That's what sanctify means, to set apart, separate. So treat that different. You know, that word that's inside of you. Fear breaking that more than anything the world is on. More than anything the world can threaten you with. He said that's how you sanctify him. Let him be your fear. Let him be your dread. And what?
And he shall be for a sanctuary, but a rock, but a stone and a stumbling, for a rock of offense to both the house of Israel, for a sign, for a and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
Hey, so this thing gonna get people tripped up. Because one way or another, this word should cause change. It says it's sharper than any two-edged sword. And that's either going to kill your old man now when you run into it. Because like Christ said, this stone you can be broken. He even said that up here, that many among them going to be broken at 15. But for time's sake, we're going to skip down. But he even said it in another place when he was dealing with the religious leaders. He said, but woe unto them to whom this rock shall fall on. He said, hey, people going to fall on this rock and be broken, but you don't want the rock to fall on you. No, see, that's them two edges of that sword. That mean now you're getting slain forever in the lake of fire. But skip down to verse 20.
Verse 20. To the Lord.
Sorry, 19. Well,
and when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep, and that mutter, should not a people seek unto their God for the living to the dead?
Okay.
To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
Okay, so this is dealing with, again, and he letting them know, don't let nobody deceive you with some other stuff that ain't, pointing you to the God of this Bible. Yep. All right? But we dealing with this word. Hey, he said, let it be to the law. And we know, hey, the laws, the they written in the Old Testament. Moses' writings are sometimes called the law. Psalms is even referred to as the law because really, whatever God say is law. It's going to happen.
Every word.
Everything, because that's what we're supposed to live by, right? Every word of God. But it say, and to the testimony. That's going to testify of what was written when it's fulfilled. That's why we had a lesson today showing, hey, Jesus fulfilled that. This was, written by this prophet that it might be fulfilled, when it come to pass, when these things was written about Jesus. A lot of people take out of context. He said, he came to fulfill the law and the prophets, and they act like you ain't got to do nothing no more, when really we read all over the Bible, this was done that it might be fulfilled, what was written. So that's testifying in the New Testament what was already written. If you never knew that that's where it came from, you might think, oh, it's all right here. Or you might not know where they're quoting from. Or somebody might come and twist it and make it seem like it's not what they were talking about back there. You got to read it for yourself, though. So now we good there. We're going to go to the New Testament, Matthew chapter 13, and get it right out the master's mouth. We're going to look at the words of Jesus, Matthew 13. We're going to read 51 and 52. And when you're ready, go ahead.
Jesus saith unto them,
What do you say?
Have ye understood all these things? They say unto him, Yea, Lord. Then said he unto them.
Okay, so now Jesus was speaking in parables and things like that to the masses, but he said he is given to the disciples for them to understand the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. So now he done explained some things to them, and they say, yeah, we understand all these things now, Lord. Now what's he going to tell them?
Then said he unto them, Therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven.
Wait, how many scribes?
Every scribe.
Every single scribe. If they truly instructed unto the kingdom of heaven, then what?
Is like unto a man that is a householder.
Okay, so he a householder. He, keep the house, in charge of the house. Go ahead.
Which bringeth forth out of his treasure things new and old.
Oh, see, because now Jesus showing them how some of the things that he's doing line up with what's been written of him to do. But he letting them know, really, there's something every scribe that's instructed in the kingdom of heaven is going to do. He's going to bring forth things both new and old. Because as things even happening, God deal with prophecy. It lets you know the spirit of Jesus, or the testimony of Jesus, is the spirit of prophecy. So now if something is fulfilled, that's going to be something new. You're going to need somebody to point that out. Hey, this was written back there. Did you know that just happened? That's what was going on wholesale while Christ walked the earth. But let's move on. So this is showing we need both. That's what the master's saying. And guess who was the God of the Old Testament? Yeah, let's go back and look at that. Let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 18. Just a little out of order, so please bear with us. Thank you, sir. Deuteronomy 18, and we're going to pick it up at verse 15 when you're ready.
The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him shall he hearken. Okay,
so now this is a message that was given to Moses, and the Lord is telling him he's going to raise up a prophet like you, Moses, like unto you. We got whole lessons on this if you want to understand the similarities, but go ahead and skip to 17. So he said he's going to come from out of Israel, from the midst of thy brethren, and he's going to be like you, Moses. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto me, They have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren like unto thee, and I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I command him. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him.
Oh, he said, I will require it of him. Look like Moses letting us know all the way back here, somebody is going to come whose words are going to even supersede his. He already wrote this is what Jesus himself said, hey, Moses wrote of me. He said, but if you don't believe his writings, how you going to believe my words? So, hey, that's exactly what happened. They failed to recognize Jesus according to the words of Moses, although they was always trying to reach back into Moses to accuse Jesus. But now he is called a prophet here because, hey, he knew everything that was going to happen, but that's just one of his many, hats that he wear. He ain't only a prophet, he was the God of the Old Testament. But we ain't got time to show you everything, so what we're going to do is go to the New Testament and let it confirm that this was talking about Christ. See, and if you never read it back here, how would you know what it's talking about when you get to the New Testament? Let's go over to Acts chapter 3.
To the Testament.
Exactly, yeah, Acts 3. Well, we're going to see the Bible interprets itself. This is why we study it by subject and title, because by the time you done read that, sound doctrine in 20 different places, ain't nobody gonna be able to take a half of scripture and twist it anymore. Because you done seen examples like, well, why did God fry that man alive for doing the same thing? Like, no, it's not okay. I seen 4 stories where God didn't like that. Right. See, but if you don't go back and read, people can tell you anything. Acts 3 and verse 22 when you're ready. I'm sorry, 22.
For Moses truly said unto the fathers, a prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me. Him shall he hear in all things whatsoever he shall say unto you. And it shall come to pass that every soul which will not hear that prophet shall be destroyed from among his people. Yea, and all the prophets from Samuel and those that followed after, as many as have spoken, have likewise foretold of these days.
Oh, wow. All of the prophets been speaking the same thing. It sounds like it's all the same message. See, this is why we can read in the Bible that the Lord, our God, is one Lord. If he's one, then, it's the same message. We ain't dealing with different individuals in the old and different ones in the new. And furthermore, this God said, I change not. Yep. That's the important part to understand. See, man is the one that change every day. Laws changing, all kind of stuff.
We drinking liquid.
Right. So man is fickle. Because man, life is like a vapor. But God, hey, he live and abide forever as well as his word. So it don't change. That's why it's still here to this day. He said he preserveth his word to 1,000 generations. But now let's move on. So go ahead. No. Go ahead. Let's keep reading.
Ye are the children of the prophets and of the covenant which God made with our fathers, saying unto Abram, and in thy seed shall all kindreds of the earth be blessed. Unto you first, God, having raised up his son, Jesus, sent him to bless you in turning away every one of you from his iniquity.
Oh, so he explained who this was talking about. He quoted Moses, and then he said, furthermore, all the prophets from Samuel and those that follow after have foretold of these days. But then he let us know, hey, unto you first. See, this was something new because it had just happened. But it's something they had written already for a long time. Some people might have even forgot about. But he said unto you first, God having raised up his son, Jesus. That's who that scripture was talking about. Who he said, hey, whoever don't hearken to his words, in the Old Testament said, I'm going to require it of him. But we see it's serious business here. He said, I will destroy him from among his people. But it's all dealing with that same verse. Because this is the same message. Let's further reiterate that. We're going to go to 2 John. It's just one chapter. It's one book. And we're going to read verse. We'll just pick it up at verse 5 for time's sake. 5 through 11.
And now I beseech thee, lady, not as though I wrote a new commandment unto thee, but that which we had from the beginning, that we love one another.
So now what lady is he talking to?
He's talking to Israel.
Right. This the church, often likened to a bride. That's why even in the New Testament, in Ephesians, it quotes, therefore shall a man leave father and mother and shall cleave unto his wife. It quotes that from Genesis. Back in the creation, God said that. And then it says, this is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Christ and the church. So that's symbolic, man's marriage to his wife with the marriage between Christ and the church. All right, so that's who he was talking to, the true believers, the true church. That's the bride of Christ. So he said, now I beseech thee, lady, not as though I wrote some new commandment unto thee, but what? I don't know where you stopped.
But that which we had from the beginning, that we love one another.
Oh, so it's been the same message from the beginning. Now we at the end of the New Testament practically, and he's saying, I'm still reiterating the same message from the beginning. Go ahead.
And this is love, that we walk after his commandments.
Man, it's still all about the commandments. This is the New Testament, right? We about to be in Revelation.
This is love.
It's still talking about the commandments from the beginning. Go ahead, bro.
This is the commandment that as he heard from the beginning, he should walk in it.
Skip over to verse 9.
Whosoever transgresseth and abideth not in the doctrine of Christ, have not God. He that abideth in the doctrine of Christ, he have both the Father and the Son.
So this is the doctrine of Christ even. Same doctrine that's been being preached since the beginning. Because it said that lamb, Jesus, was slain from the foundation of the world. This wasn't a surprise to God. He planned this out before he created man. So now let's move on. We're going to look at Matthew chapter 22. Matthew 22, and let's pick it up at verse 35 when you're ready.
Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him, and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Okay, so we're learning the foundation of the law and the prophets from this man asking Jesus, basically, what's the most important commandment in the law? He called it the first and great or greatest commandment. And, keep in mind, they asking about something that's already written in the law. See, a lot of people read this or hear it preached to them, and they think it's something new. So they think it's something different. But what we're going to do something different and go back and read where it came from. So we understand that this is the same message we heard from the beginning, like we just read in 2 John. So he said, what's the great commandment in the law? And he said, read 37 again.
Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment.
All right, hold your place there, and we're going to go over to Deuteronomy 6 and verse 4. And we're going to read 4 and 5 to make sure that this is coming from the Old Testament. Because we heard the man say in the law, and y'all heard me quote that it came from the law, but now we're going to read it. Deuteronomy 6 and 4 when you're ready.
Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might.
Sound familiar? So this is where it came from. So again, don't be deceived by thinking, we under some new law of love now, because God's commandments been showing us what love truly is. His God is love. And we see his commandments are based on love, but you also got to have order when people start going contrary. See, people don't always see the love because they like, man, as soon as they did something, they got stoned. Right. Yeah, well, that's how that kept us in the love of God. Because he said now everybody else going to hear and fear. They going to depart from iniquity when they see that. They going to know, let me not try the Lord like that. Go ahead. So we read all of that. Nah, let's go over to shoot, if you still got your place, what was that second greatest
And
commandment?
the second is like unto it.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Now let's look at Leviticus chapter 19, which is where this commandment comes from. And again, he said this, they all hang on these two commandments. So, you know, he just summarizing it to make it easy to understand. He not doing away with nothing. This is what he already been giving you from the beginning. Leviticus 19 and 17 and 18 when you're ready.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
Oh, look like somebody can judge you. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it is God, because it's his judgment. He the one that gave these judgment, but he's telling even common folks, this the regular people, he ain't talking to the priest here. He just said, hey, read that again, I'm sorry.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
So he said to rebuke or to strongly correct your neighbor when needed. Mm-hmm. Instead of just walking, you know, telling everybody else about it. That's what he said in the verse above. We ain't got time to read everything. But he said, hey, thou shalt in any case rebuke thy neighbor and don't allow him to keep sinning if he don't know, if he ignorant about it. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, 18.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
But what?
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Who's saying this?
The Lord.
All the way back there? Mm-hmm. Man, don't you know, God have no beginning of days? Why he got it, his word was settled in heaven. That's what it said. Before we even got a letter etched in stone on earth, God already had all of this settled. So don't think he coming to change everything. He's building upon the same foundation. That's how God do it. He the master builder. So all the way back here, he was telling you, this is how you truly love your neighbor as yourself. Sometimes you got to give him some tough love, some strong correction with the word of God, not your own opinions. But let's move on.
On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Oh, okay. I thought we had already read it.
I know.
Yeah.
Just,
okay.
You said hold my place.
Okay. All right. So now, where we at? We're going to go to we'll look at something a lot of people twist, which is Paul's writings, because they don't have a foundation in the Old Testament. And we're going to be brief. We're going to Acts chapter 24, and we're going to read verses 1 through 5. Yeah, let's see. We might skip to it. Yeah, we'll read verses 1 through 5. Acts 24.
Acts 24.
Yeah.
And after 5 days, Ananias and the high priest descended with the elders and with certain orders named Tarius, who informed the governor against Paul. Mm-hmm. And when he was called,
Just do your best.
began to accuse him, saying, seeing that by thee we enjoy great quietness.
So let me just interject. Paul about to be tried.
Yes, sir.
And his accusers are, they speaking first. But we're going to skip them because they just, trying to butter up the king. Let's skip down to verse 10.
Then Paul, after that the governor had beckoned unto him to speak, answered, for as much as I know that
Okay, so now he answering. Skip down to 14. This is what we came here for.
But this I confess unto thee, that after the way which they call heresy, so worship I, the God of my fathers, believe in all things.
How many things?
All things.
Paul said he believe in all things, which what?
Which are written in the law and in the prophets.
15.
And have hope towards God, which they themselves also allow, that there shall be a resurrection of the dead, both of the just and unjust.
Okay, so even Paul, and you can read 2 Peter 3 and see how Peter said that people often twist Paul's writings because they're hard to be understood. But we see it's all the same message from the Old Testament from the beginning. So